Hello students, in this problem we are going to determine the molecular formula of an organic compound, okay? And what is the data? We have given 1.5 grams of a certain compound Y, okay? It is known to be made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and it has a molecular mass of 320, okay? So when this compound is burnt in oxygen, it's burnt completely, it gives you 2.48 grams of carbon dioxide and 0.68 grams of water, and based on this we have to calculate the molecular formula of this Y and as well as its degree of unsaturation. Okay, now number of carbon atoms present in 1 mole of Y, that's what will be the first step. See, all we are doing this problem is we have to find out the number of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms present in 1 mole of this compound. So that will give us the answer. Okay, so now we are going to calculate number of carbon atoms in 1 mole of Y. We know that 1.5 grams of Y gives you 2.48 grams of carbon dioxide on complete combustion. Now this carbon is coming from compound Y, okay? So when you're burning in oxygen. So which means 320 grams or 1 mole of Y will give you 2.48 grams by 1.5 grams into 320 grams, which is 529.07 grams of carbon dioxide, okay? So now we know that the molar mass of carbon dioxide is 44, which means each 44 grams of carbon dioxide contains 1 atom of carbon. So 529.07 grams of carbon dioxide has proportionately 12.02 atoms of carbon, which is 12 atoms of carbon rounded to the nearest whole number. So 1 mole of Y contains 12 atoms of carbon. Okay. So now let us calculate the number of hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of Y. Same principle. We know that 1.5 grams of Y on combustion gives you 0.68 grams of H2O. This hydrogen comes from the compound, okay? So 1 mole or 320 grams of Y will give you proportionately 145.07 grams of water, okay? So now the molar mass of water is 18, we know that. So 18 grams of H2O will contain every 18 grams of H2O contains 2 atoms of water. So 145.07 grams of H2O has proportionately 16.12 atoms of hydrogen, which is rounded to 16 atoms to nearest whole number. So which means 1 mole of our compound contains 16 atoms of hydrogen. Now to calculate the number of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of Y, we go about it in a different way. See, now we know that 1 mole of Y has 16 atoms of hydrogen and 12 atoms of carbon, right? So what will be just the weight of the carbon and hydrogen alone? It will be 12 into 12 plus 16 into 1, right? Because one carbon atom weighs 12 grams, okay, and one hydrogen atom has 1 gram. So 12 into 12 plus 16 into 1 will be 160 grams. So the weight of the carbon and hydrogen in 1 mole of compound Y is 160 grams. So the weight of oxygen will be 320 minus 160, because we know that the molar mass is 320. So the weight of oxygen in 1 mole of this compound is 160 grams. So now we know that, okay, one oxygen atoms weigh 16 grams. So 160 grams of oxygen weighs will be how many atoms? Will be 10 atoms of oxygen, right? So the each mole of Y contains 10 atoms of oxygen. So putting it all together, we know that 1 mole of Y contains 12 atoms of carbon, 16 atoms of hydrogen and 10 atoms of oxygen. So the molecular formula of Y will be C12H16O10, right? So with this we can calculate the degree of unsaturation, which is 2C plus 2 minus H divided by 2, where C is the number of carbon atoms and H is the number of hydrogen atoms. We plug in the values, we get the degree of unsaturation is equal to 5. Thank you very much.